Okay, so everybody's really worried about this VA, 80,000 people being chopped up or whatever. Here's the thing. Anybody who doesn't know what the VA is going to be mad about this. Hell, people who know what the VA are and are taking advantage of it are going to be mad about this. And let me tell you, fraud is everywhere inside the VA. And it is soldiers doing it. The VA is not being used for what it is supposed to be used for. So VA disability works a little bit different than Social Security benefits. Social Security disability benefits. You can still work with a VA disability rating of 100% and still get your check without any penalties. When a soldier gets a VA rating of a certain level, they have insurance and this check for life. And I can tell you that it has become a complete meta to jump into the military, farm as many medical appointments as you can, remain undeployable, disrespect every single facet of military life, refuse to fall in line underneath your leadership, and get out like you're a fucking hero. People who never rotate, people who never do NTC, people who never do anything are getting these ratings. And they are getting them in numbers that you couldn't imagine. Think about how many claims there are being processed by the VA right now. Millions of claims. Every single soldier for the past 4 years. Seems like this has been something that has been going on kind of since a restructuring after COVID. Every single soldier is trying to get a VA rating. And the thing is, it is hitting critical mass to the point where the scam is being exposed. And it is obvious that Pete Hegseth, a lieutenant colonel, knows what's going on. He has been low enough to the ground to never lose track of this kind of crap. He was at that kind of level where you still see soldiers every day. Generals aren't aware of this stuff, and generals don't care. Generals care about optics. Generals care about pet projects more than anything. Generals are the kind of people that have soldiers killing themselves underneath their watch, and they say, well, I guess we need to have mandatory fun days where you're forced to play soccer with all the people that you fucking hate and spend all your time with. God forbid you want to stay home and play some video games or, spend some time with your family. No, mandatory fun days. And the thing is, I feel for civilians who are watching this happen and they don't understand. I feel for older veterans who see this and they don't understand. Because they don't understand what has happened inside the United States military. At least the Army. I can't speak for any other branch except the one that I know. Fraud is everywhere. When I got out of the military without a disability rating, I was basically called an idiot by everybody around me. I said, hey, there's nothing wrong with me. Hey, there's not anything going on. So I'm going to walk you through the process of getting a VA rating for me. Because 2 years after I left the military, I kind of started to realize, I'm like, shit, they didn't really give me anything. And it was my fault for not really taking advantage of TA and all that stuff. So I know it's all my fault. But I had a couple pretty decent jobs, and then I settled on a job that was not going to make me rich, but it was good enough. Then about 9 months later, thanks Biden, sending it down to Mexico. I covered that in one of my last videos. It's Caterpillar. Caterpillar, by the way. Caterpillar will sell all your jobs to a slave-toting country to save 5%. So when we got the news that Caterpillar was shutting down, I was feeling a little dumpy-wumpy, you know what I'm saying? A little sad. So I called the VA and had an hour-long phone call. Now I get a check every single month. I got insurance. Means I don't have to, means with one single phone call, basically I was taken out of the rat race. That means I no longer have to struggle like civilians do with health insurance. I no longer have to struggle wondering where my food is going to come from. So my VA disability plus my GI Bill basically pays for my life. I can do anything I want and I don't have to work. At least not for the next couple of years. And I've always said, every time somebody talks to me about it, I said, look, something is going to change. It is hitting critical mass of the amount of dirtbags that are just farming all of this stuff inside the military. They are not deploying. They are making themselves undeployable. They are basically just being obstinate about melding with the military. They kill military culture. They threaten sharp EO on all of their superiors the second they try to get them to work. And then all the superiors do is say, okay, go to your medical appointment and farm your depression and get the fuck out of my military. That's the reality of the situation. Those people who disrespect the American flag, those people who disrespect the military, they're getting paid for it. And it is all of them. And it is, I would bet it's 25% of soldiers getting out with a VA rating. That is a low conservative estimate. Because I haven't met a single soldier get out of the military without a VA rating. Not in recent times. Absolutely not. So when you hear 80,000 people are being cut from the VA and you shit your pants for no reason because you don't have any idea what's going on and you're not paying attention or you're working with out-of-date information, you need to understand that things are always more complicated than you think they are. And they're more complicated than you can probably understand.